Background and setup. In the late 1960s, the San Francisco Bay Area was a region of contrasts. Vibrant cities like San Francisco buzzed with counterculture, while quieter towns like Vallejo and Benicia offered a deceptive calm. It was here, amid rolling hills and fog-laden streets, that a shadow emerged, casting fear over a generation. The Zodiac's confirmed reign of terror began in 1968, though some speculate his crimes stretch back to 1966 with the murder of Cherry Joe Bates in Riverside. His known victims, David Faraday, Betty Lou Jensen, Darlene Ferrin, Cecelia Shepard, and Paul Stine, were young, often couples or solitary figures, struck down in moments of vulnerability. David and Betty Lou were high school sweethearts, their lives cut short on that fateful night at Lake Herman Road. Darlene Ferrin, 22, a mother and waitress, was gunned down with her friend Michael Mageau in a parking lot on July 4, 1969. Michael survived, bearing scars and a haunting memory. Cecelia Shepard, 22, and Brian Hartnell were attacked at Lake Berryessa on September 27, 1969. Cecelia died, while Brian lived to recount the terror. Paul Stine, a 29-year-old cab driver, was the final confirmed victim, shot in San Francisco on October 11, 1969. The Zodiac claimed up to 37 victims in his letters, a number unverified but chilling in its audacity. Suspicions soon turned to Arthur Lee Allen, a 35-year-old former elementary school teacher with a troubling past. Born in 1933 in Honolulu, Allen moved to California, where he was fired from teaching jobs for bringing firearms to school and later convicted of child molestation in 1974, spending 3 years in a Atascadero State Hospital. Friends like Don Chaney recalled disturbing conversations. Chaney later told police in 1971, he talked about hunting people, using a flashlight on a gun, signing letters Zodiac. Allen's proximity to crime scenes, including Vallejo where Darlene worked, and his ownership of a Zodiac brand watch with the killer's crosshair symbol, fueled speculation. Yet he denied it all, insisting to investigators, "I'm not your man." The stage was set by a society on edge. Vietnam War protests and social upheaval created a backdrop where fear could thrive. The Zodiac exploited this, mailing letters to newspapers like the San Francisco Chronicle, demanding publication under threats of more killings. His first letter, postmarked July 31, 1969, chillingly declared, "I am the killer of the 2 teenagers last Christmas at Lake Herman. I also killed that girl near the golf course in Vallejo." The game had begun, and the Bay Area would never be the same. The crime the night of December 20th, 1968, began innocently enough. David Faraday, a bright student, and Betty Lou Jensen, a cheerleader with dreams of college, parked along Lake Herman Road, a secluded spot for young lovers. The air was crisp, the stars obscured by a thickening fog. Unseen, a figure approached, his footsteps muffled by the damp earth. Suddenly, gunfire erupted, 9 shots from a .22 caliber pistol, the sharp cracks piercing the night. David slumped, a bullet through his head. Betty Lou tried to flee, only to be struck 5 times in the back. The killer vanished, leaving their car a silent tomb. Months later, on July 4, 1969, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau parked at Blue Rock Springs Park. Laughter faded as headlights approached, then retreated. Minutes later, a man emerged, his face obscured, and opened fire with a 9mm handgun. Bullets tore through Darlene's body, killing her instantly. Michael, shot in the face and neck, survived, gasping, "He just kept shooting." The attacker fled, but not before calling police to taunt, "I did it." At Lake Berryessa on September 27, 1969, Cecelia Shepard and Brian Hartnell picnicked by the lake, the water glistening under a late summer sun. A man in a hooded costume, the crosshair symbol emblazoned on his chest, approached with a gun. "I want your money and car," he lied, before binding them with pre-cut rope. Then, with a knife, he stabbed Cecilia 10 times and Brian 6, the blade slicing through flesh as their screams mingled with the rustling leaves. Brian survived, whispering to rescuers. He wore a mask. He wanted to kill. Finally, on October 11, 1969, Paul Stine drove his cab through San Francisco's Presidio Heights. A passenger shot him in the head at point-blank range, the gunshot echoing in the confined space. Witnesses saw a man flee, tearing a piece of Paul's shirt as a trophy. The pattern was clear, random yet deliberate, a predator reveling in chaos. Each crime scene buzzed with police lights and the wail of sirens, the community gripped by a terror that deepened with every letter. The investigation launched with urgency, but soon spiraled into frustration. Vallejo police, joined by San Francisco and Napa County authorities, combed Lake Herman Road, finding shell casings but no clear suspect. The July 1969 attack on Darlene and Michael yielded a description: a stocky man 5'8" to 5'9", and the chilling phone call preserved in police logs: "I'm the one who did it." The Lake Berryessa assault left a hood and footprints, size 10.5 shoes, while Paul Stine's murder provided a bloody shirt fragment and a partial fingerprint. Leads poured in. Thousands of tips flooded the San Francisco Police Department, SFPD. Arthur Lee Allen emerged early, flagged by Cheney's 1971 tip. In 1972, police searched his Santa Rosa trailer, finding a knife and a Zodiac watch, but fingerprints and handwriting didn't match. Michael Mageau in 1991 identified Allen from a photo lineup, exclaiming, "That's him! It's the man who shot me!" Yet Officer Donald Fook, who glimpsed the Stine killer, countered, "Allen was too heavy, his face too round." The letters, postmarked from 1969 to 1974, were a gold mine and a curse. The first, with a 408 symbol cipher, was cracked by a schoolteacher and his wife, revealing, "I like killing people because it is so much fun." A 3-2-40 symbol cipher, solved in 2020 by amateur code breakers, taunted, "I will not give you my name." 2 ciphers remain unsolved, their secrets locked in the killer's mind. In 2002, Sidney Holt of the SFPD extracted a partial DNA profile from a stamp on a 1969 letter, but comparisons to Allen and others, including Cheney, ruled them out. Though the profile's partial nature left room for doubt, the case grew cold, yet amateur sleuths, dubbed zodiologists, kept it alive. In 2018, a team claimed Allen was the killer, citing his movements and the Seawater family's accounts of trips to crime scenes. The SFPD, however, stands firm. No conclusive match has emerged, and the file remains open, a testament to a hunt that spans decades. Outcome and aftermath: no arrest, no trial. The Zodiac Killer's story ends in ambiguity. Allen died of a heart attack in 1992, taking his secrets to the grave. The 2002 DNA breakthrough faded as technology couldn't pinpoint a match, and the 2018 claim by researchers linking Allen to the crimes lacks official backing. The community, once paralyzed by fear, now grapples with a legacy of fascination. San Francisco's Presidio Heights, once a crime scene, stands quiet, while Lake Berryessa's shores whisper of past horrors. Media frenzy followed each letter and murder, with the Chronicle publishing the killer's taunts, fueling public obsession. Books like Robert Graysmith's Zodiac, 1986, and David Fincher's 2007 film kept the case alive, while the 2020 cipher solution reignited hope. Yet privacy concerns over genetic genealogy, used to catch the Golden State Killer, temper enthusiasm. The SFPD, with over 2,500 suspects investigated, faces pressure to resolve the case, but resources dwindle. The Zodiac's impact lingers. Fear turned to curiosity, a cultural icon born from tragedy. Closing reflection. In the fog-draped streets of the Bay Area, where the Zodiac Killer once prowled, his shadow stretches into the present, a reminder of evil's enduring enigma. Solved or not, his story probes the depths of human darkness and the limits of justice, urging us to wonder what monsters hide in plain sight, and will their secrets ever truly surface?